Hello everybody, this is Maniac for Lego. We are here today with set number 7776, The Shipwreck. This is an Aqua Raider set from 2007, and it contains 3 minifigures, 241 pieces. This was retailed for $24.99 and was marked as a hard-to-find item. This was not always steadily available when it was out. I don't recall exactly when it was available, or which places it was available. It doesn't list it on Brickset, and I got this as a gift, so I don't remember the place that it's from. But I do remember this being in the magazine marked as a hard-to-find item, kind of an exclusive in a way, and was not featured in some of the other lineup of sets from Aqua Raiders. So, this kind of makes me already feel like it's this very special set. And let's get more into it right now. So first off, we have our set of instructions, a very large book, relatively for the $30 type of sets. But since this one has so much to offer, we have a larger book to encompass it all. It does have a couple of rips in here, because it's been slightly torn, and, well, it's been going around from place to place a few times. I don't recall this one having any numbered bags, and it doesn't say so in the book itself. I do apologize if that information is wrong. You can see on here, in similar design to some of the other instruction manuals from Aqua Raiders, this one has the ocean background with some reflections of the waves, and very nice look on it too. Very good set of instructions, and I had fun building this. I don't remember how long it took me, but it was still a good build once I got the set as a gift. On the back, we have 2 pages of piece count. It also shows you a computer digitalized version of the set, and I say that because it's not exactly how it's made. Even with some of the figures on the other pages, it looks like too clean, you know? So you kind of know it's not the actual set pictured. Correct me if that information is wrong. That's what I've come to realize for this set, and for other sets around this time period. So what we have in this set, you have the shipwreck itself with a dropping function of the mast, and simply the way to do that is to move out this treasure chest area. Very cool feature we'll get into a little bit later. We also have the submarine in this set, the other large model that we built. And this one has a couple different functions. It has an opening canopy in the front, it has moving arms, and it also has a magnetic feature with some other cases in this set. You can see the lineup of all of the Aqua Raider sets right here, and as mentioned before, this was not shown in some of the other instruction booklets. They don't even show it in this big scene, which is why it is marked as a hard-to-find set, and frankly, I'm very sorry that I don't know exactly when this was available. If I find out later in the review, during jump cuts, I'll let you guys know. And by the way, I've mentioned before how I have almost all of the sets. This one in the corner is one that I don't have, and this one up here is the only one I don't have. So 2 away from completing the entire theme, and I feel like that's a big accomplishment. So, on the back here we have the Lego Club section. It shows you where to join for the Lego Club. It also shows you the shop at home on the back. And the very back cover just shows you another image of the set. So, let's get on to our minifigures and other stuff about the set. So here we have the first of 2 divers in this set. They both have the same exact torso printing, leg printing, but they both do not have diver equipment. Just something to note, because this is one of the few sets where that has only one of them in full diver outfit, whether or not they are piloting a vehicle. Now, I researched real quickly, it's a hard to find set because it's a limited edition. So, you kind of figure a label like that is very important. At least, you know, I have very few limited edition sets like this one. So, we can see his basic torso printing on here. He's got a very nice face on him. It's been used a couple times in different themes. I can remember it's been used in Space Police, and also in Mars Mission. As we look towards the back, you can see the nice blue and black on his torso. He's got this little mark on his helmet as we turn it over, it reveals the trident symbol shown throughout his costume, or should I say, uniform. There's a better look at the torso printing, the same exact one that we get for the other figure. And there it is on the back. Get a little tank with him, and we do have some scuba gear on his feet, the flippers I mean. We don't get the same accessories with the other figure as stated before. And just real quickly, here is this small vehicle that we get in the set. It's kind of like a exploration rover, I guess. Kind of just floats along and he guides along the back of it with this one handle. And we have 2 harpoon guns attached onto here, so he can grab one and fire as he needs to. It's got a little 1x2 translucent piece in here, so it shows an idea of reflecting light in the dark depths of the ocean. We also have these 2 wings that can fly up and down, or should I say swim. And kind of a basic model, but still a cool one for this minifigure to just, drift along the ocean floor and find out what's underneath. So let's get on to the next figure. Here we have our second Aqua Raiders diver. This one is going to be piloting the submarine in this set. Now, contrary to the instruction book, it actually shows you on the front and a little bit on the inside. Now, the inside, they have the faces correct on these two. But on the instructions themselves, may I just point this out, this face is not the same one that's used for the diver, and this face is not the same one that's used for the pilot of the submarine. I find that kind of interesting and kind of confusing, in fact, with some of these LEGO sets, especially with Aqua Raiders, that they confuse a few of the faces around. Maybe they're preliminary images and, they change faces in the final cut. I'm not sure. So we have the same torso printing as stated before. He has different facial printing, and he has a small beanie cap. Very cool to have a little bit of variety with these figures. And he does not have any scuba gear, so I'll put him back in the submarine. The last minifigure in this set is the Skeleton King. Now, this one seems very odd to me, because the idea of the set is the Shipwreck, and yet we have what looks like a crown for this skeleton. We assume that it was a king, but maybe these took place in 2 different time periods, but hey, that landed in the same spot, Like the Shipwreck happened one time, but the king happened at another time. It's actually the nicest, and I've kept a king's crown. The classic king's crown, that is, from LEGO. It's the nicest that I've kept it in a very long time. I have very few times used this or even touched this set, but it's been open to air for a really long time, so I'm really surprised how well this has stayed up. It's a very basic skeleton. This is the old version that has the movable arms. They can also fix into place, but you can also have them just wiggle around freely. And also the older form having these, easier legs to move around. But it also has the somewhat newer face, the more like evil looking skeleton. Maybe as an evil king at one point. But I haven't looked at the set too many times, but every time I have, the Skeleton King gets to me because of that crown being in almost pristine condition. The other ones have been good, but sometimes the gold on these crowns, they tend to lack a little bit. Sometimes the chrome printings on some LEGO pieces, kind of wears away after many years. And this one, I'm still surprised that it's been in good condition for over 7 years. 7 years. Now let's get on to the rest of the set. I've already shown you the small diving model that came with our diver. So I guess the next smallest piece of the set would be these. First of all, we have no really big sea monster with this set. Contrary to some of the other ones, we have these sea snakes. These have been available in only one other set as far as Aqua Raiders, if you really want to define it as like a villain, for all these sea creatures in the Aqua Raiders series. This is your villain. This is it. This is your villain for this entire set. So it's actually very one-sided as far as the the ability for, hero versus villain to win. The Aqua Raiders can easily go in here, and that actually makes it kind of fun in a set, because it's not a monstrous figure like we've seen in the Tiger Shark attack or the Angler attack, or Angler ambush, one of those two. It's not too out, it's not too overwhelming in that it's, almost unrealistic. So it's still good as a diver set, even if you're not a fan of the giant monstrous versions of sea creatures, which I actually am a fan of. But these come in green, contrary to some other sets. They've been green a couple times since then, and even after this, since this time and a little around this time, but still kind of cool to get. And these two crates we have on the back are stickered. They all have stickers on one side, and the other side. These are Aqua Raiders treasure crates. These are used underwater with the submarine, and we'll show you that in a bit. You just have to open these up very carefully, actually very easily, and you just fit all the gems and other treasures that are included with the set. You can fit them all right in here, and they can magnetically attach to the submarine. They can attach to each other magnetically because the poles are actually on the these are both on the same side. I don't know if it's south or north, but you can see if I try to bring them together, they'll want to repel from each other. And then they'll try to go to the other side. Well, you'll see a little bit better magnetic action once we get to the submarine, which is now. Here we have the submarine in this set. Very nice looking model from Aqua Raiders. It's one of my favorites, next to the Tiger Shark attack, submarine. Now this one has a great look to it to give that submarine design. It does have a little bit of dust around it. I do apologize. And with that dust, it also gets onto some of the stickers, so I do apologize for that as well. We have tons of stickers around this set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on one side alone. This is a printed piece. Let's say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 stickers you have to carefully put into different places. They're not going to interfere with too many functions if they're not put in correctly, but you don't want to mess up with some of them. There is a one sticker on the side that is starting to peel off. And you can have you have some tubes around here. Got some basic building in the back. We have these 2 turbines in the back that you can spin around and turn in different directions to guide the submarine. We have the rudder in the back that can move around which way the submarine's moving, left or right. We have the simulated tube section on here. It's made up of mainly lightsabers, but it's not a complete design, so it's not like from one to the other. And I don't know if it's supposed to be, but I thought it might have supposed to be. We have the fuel sticker on there, sub 76, open and with an arrow up, because this is the best way to open it, and trying to grab it here. It also has a danger sign because you have the robotic arms, and also has the same stickers on the other side. So I guess you could fuel this up from both sides. It's kind of good. We have these tubes on the side. I really like those when those come in different Lego sets. And we have these little simulated harpoons in the front. They're not really actually firing. We have robotic arms that can move around in tons of joint combinations. You can have them covering the ship like this, like it's scared if you wanted to. You could have it really wide out to try to scare off other predators underwater. This is as wide as that you can bring it. Let's see if I can get it all the way back. There we go. You can see it's got quite a wide range. This one gives it a little bit wider range than the other side. Since one side is mainly a robot arm and has a hand on that you could grab things with, such as treasure, or you could grab the snakes and try to move them out of the way of treasure. And then the other side, as mentioned before, we have a magnetic piece. Now we've had these treasure pieces. So all I gotta do is get it close. Let me just move it back again. There we go. Attach it right on. Very cool. So what you could probably simulate is you have your small diver going in first with some of these crates, and then, collecting some of the treasure. Then this bigger submarine will be called in, and he could pick up all the he could pick up all the treasure and bring it back to shore. Now, contrary to what you can imagine, you can't actually hold both treasure chests on here, or treasure cases, whatever you want to call these. What you'd have to do is take off this and reverse polarity so that you can have it match up on both sides, like so. So, it's not too bad of a deal, and honestly, I don't care either way. But sometimes it does get a little messy as far as the magnetics, because they'll start flailing around in all different directions. But it works out nicely as far as a feature. I really like that. We have this large harpoon cannon on the top, featured with a whole bunch of harpoons on it. Nothing really fires on this model. It's just kind of for simulation and moving around like that. So it does have a defense mechanism. On the top here, you have to carefully open this up. It's on two ratcheted joints on both sides, and it has a tendency to break off at times. And you move this part out, and you have the cabin. The inside of the submarine is fully exposed, where you can see our pilot sitting in there. He might need some oxygen, because I just opened him up to water. Now he has this section over here, where we have a small computer, kind of tracking his progress, maybe how deep he is underwater, and where he is in relation to other stuff. So nice gauges in there. That's movable if you wanted to. And you can see he's seated on here in a kind of unique way. There's more the back part of his legs being used to attach him, so he's still easy to take out. So I'll fold it back up. Oh. You do have to be careful with opening this up. Sometimes it breaks off here, sometimes it breaks off down here. So, and it does have a good shape to it. It's a very nice size for the submarine. Now, the submarine doesn't have anything on the bottom. It's a flat structure, so I don't know if that's really a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not somebody who studies with submarines often, so I wouldn't know if they have flat bottoms like that, even in the real world. So let's get on to the rest of our set. Here we have the namesake of the set, the Shipwreck. What kind of underwater theme would be complete without a little bit of discovering ruins and wreckage from past years? I really like when diver themes have this in LEGO, and it's also very cool to see in real life when people discover these, lost ships that, went underwater. So very cool to, scavenge around here. It's got a really nice design to it. Even though it's skeletal, it presents the idea of it being a pirate ship. You have the mast right here. You have the large wheel in the back. Don't know the name of it for right now. You have all these open spaces where you can have things flowing through, and maybe some of these snakes can go through these. And, shows the idea of there being boards that would come up and build up the ship. We have a small plate of treasure. This is our first section of treasure in this set. I may be wrong about some of the colors of the jewels, so I do apologize. It's a little bit confusing from what is shown in the manual. The colors didn't always match up. As we look around here, you can see we have some of these at an angle, so you have the idea that these pieces would come around to a kind of a curved shape. We have a crab that's sitting on top of here, just kind of walking around on the ocean floor. We have some seaweed on this section and on the back section. Lots of open space in here. You could probably take a couple more of these sets and try to make a full pirate ship just from, these large arch pieces. That's one thing I really like about this set. If you're really scavenging for pieces, I find that funny because it's Aqua Raiders and, you're scavenging for treasure. Scavenging for nice pieces, these are arches that could really do well. I've seen these in a couple different sets, and I have a few of them outside of this set, but, getting a couple of these would be really nice if you can make it into a full pirate ship, just based on this set. Now on the back, you can see the mast does move around a bit, and I think it's kind of I don't know if it's really lazy or if it's just like, oh, let's get on with it, that they just put the steering wheel right on the back of the mast. It's probably something that wouldn't happen on a real pirate ship, but, just to give it a little bit more of that ship feel, they put it right on the back of there. I wanted to mention this is on a waffle plate, an 8x16 waffle plate. Oop, we almost lost the treasure there. Now, the treasure can pop out of place very easily, and here is our goodies. Just move that in. Lots of goodies in there. I can see we have a lot of translucent yellow, white, blue, green, and pink jewels, along with 4 coins of 10, 20, 30, and 40. Very good treasures, whether for a pirate or for an exploration team. Now, the feature of this set, as seen in the instructions, is you have a sliding piece in here where you can take out the treasure. The theoretical idea is, oh, I'm going to go in here and, oh, look at that treasure. I'm going to go pick that up. I can put it in my little treasure chest, you know, that the submarine can pick up later. So you have this guy try to go in here. He's going to grab this and go. Now, instead of actually attaching it to him, here's the idea. When you push this across, you're going to let this stay loose. So when this loosens up, you're going to have the mast falling down on it. Very cool function, not only for like a trap or, you know, for this kind of set, kind of something that you could be like, oh, you can't get the treasure that easily. But actually, it seems like a cool idea just for the shipwreck feel. I mean, if you're exploring underwater and you find ruins like this, you don't want to just mosey on in there. You got to take some precautions so that some of the ruins don't collapse on you. And this is a cool collapsing function that works very easily. I'll show you a little bit closer up how this works. You can see the sliding piece that fits right in here. Very easy to take out. It's got a lot of tile room that you can just put it in and it locks in place. Hold on, there we go. So as I hold this piece right here, this mast is not going to fall down, even if I have it tilted. But as I move that away, boom, smacked right on top of the ship. And that's because it has a very small layer in there that we can, you can see how that fits right in there and prevents it from moving. Very cool function and very cool design of this set. We get very few ruins in the Aqua Raiders theme, so I'm actually very happy that we get it in this set as a, you know, as a limited edition item. And, you know, it's kind of a cool idea for what the Atlantis explorers, Aqua Raiders explorers could be looking for underwater. This would be like the mother lode of treasure, because a lot of other Aqua Raider sets, they have treasure in them. They all do, in some way or another. But they always have it in some sort of rocks. They don't have it in real wreckage. And I think the base doesn't really have it in any sort of like hidden place. It's just like, oh, we gathered it here. So overall, this is an amazing set. For $25, it's an amazing price. For all the pieces and all the building that you get with this set, very good for the kind of figures that we have, even though they're mostly the same. I still like the variety of the faces, because it's not like the ones we get in some other Aqua Raider sets. The Skeleton King is very cool to get, especially with that crown. The pirate ship is amazing. I really like how that's done to create that, that wreckage feel of it. And a very cool function with that to make the mast fall down. The submarine has a few flaws in terms of, pieces breaking off on the sides. And, this system can always fall off very easily. But it's still a nice shape to the submarine and still a good idea for functions. I also like the magnetics that are included with it. And, this model doesn't do too much, but I guess it's a good add-on instead of just having it as a regular diver with a harpoon in his hand. He has a small vehicle with him too. The Shipwreck doesn't really have many problems except for one thing. As much as you have an abundance of these pieces, you get 9 of these total in this set. It's a great number. And it's, great for the effect. However, these pieces fall off very often. I've had a couple times, even before building this set, before reviewing this set, where I'd have to rebuild it. So it's like a wreckage that keeps breaking. It's kind of ironic, because even this whole back section can fall off very easily. These pieces in the front have a tendency to fall off because they're all held on one by ones over here and over here. This whole back section kind of has its own structure to it. It doesn't really attach to the rest of the ship. So if you do it the right way, you could peel it off very easily. But overall, I think this is an excellent set. I really enjoyed getting this as a gift, and I'm really happy that it's here in my hands as a limited edition set. I'm very happy to have shared it with all of you. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this set. I don't know if many of you have known about this in the time that it was released or even afterwards. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time with more LEGO set reviews. Whew.